Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Fintech Fest organized by Fintech Convergence Council of IMI and the National Payments Corporation of India. This event is presented by the Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance and the Reserve Bank of India, powered by Amazon Pay and brought to you by WhatsApp and Google Pay. This is the inaugural session of the two-day event that has over 40 conference sessions, several workshops and virtual exhibitions planned out for you. Without further ado, for the inaugural session, I would like to invite Mr. Naveen Surya, Chairman, Fintech Convergence Council of India, and Mr. Dilip Asbe, Managing Director and CEO, National Payments Corporation of India. Over to you, Mr. Surya.
Thank you. Thank you, Dilip. Thank you for joining me for this.
Thank you.
It's kind of a day when before you go to a new school, before you finish your exam and you're waiting for result, it's that kind of a day. And I don't know if it's with me or everyone, but I feel the same goosebumps here. It's the same part nervousness, part excitement. I think last 3 months we've all been working to create some sort of a global event for the fintechs. And this is a moment of truth for all of us. I thank you for your support. So I will start very briefly talking about this conference that we put together for the fintech community, and very briefly say with you what we have in store for next 2 days. So we just start. I'm just sharing a quick presentation. Can you see the screen, Dilip?
I think it's just coming up.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah, you just have to put it on a presentation mode.
All right.
Yeah,
it's fine, right?
Yeah, perfect.
So it's also an interesting time. I'm a bit confused that whether I should say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, because I'm sure there are folks who have joined from different geographies. So probably all three of them. I believe a lot of people are still sleeping, so we'll say good night to them later. But thank you very much. It's my pleasure to present to you India's first, it's the world's first largest global fintech virtual conference as well as an exhibition. This has been presented and conceived by Fintech Convergence Council, Payment Council of India, which I represent, NPCI, which is represented by Dilip, also presented by Department of Economic Affairs, which is part of the Ministry of Finance from India, as well as Reserve Bank of India. This is also supported by World Bank Group and UNCDF and IMI. So I thank all of them for this great support. This is first ever event for global level in a virtual world. So welcome all of you to this formal edition of GFF. I welcome our expected 100,000 plus viewers across the live streaming, because this conference is getting live streamed also on YouTube, Facebook, and few more platforms. You will see all that information through our website or through our emails. I welcome overwhelming response from the delegates, who are 10,000 plus today, who's joining us during these 2 days. And interestingly, more than 30% are from foreign countries other than India. So we have a special warm welcome to all of them for their overwhelming support to us. There are over 100 plus speakers for this conference. Interestingly, about 45 plus global speakers, which is beyond India, and 25 women speakers. So we again welcome all of them. In fact, it's a very overwhelming response from the global speakers as well as women speakers. And we would always continue to work and see more women leaders can come and participate as we move forward with this event. This wasn't possible again, so I welcome, without the support of over 3,000 organizations who have been participating in some way or other with the conference. There are over 50 global fintech bodies across the globe, as well as media partners related to fintechs who have supported this event. There are 75 plus exhibitors. You can see the link through your pages, and then you can probably meet all of them, see all of what all they have to offer. And last but not the least, our sponsors, without whom again this conference wasn't possible. And again, I welcome all of you from 50 plus countries. So this is so exciting to see such an overwhelming response across the globe, even in our first edition. So I thank you all of you and welcome all of you to this conference. So what would you expect during 2 days? So today and tomorrow, we start around kind of 12:15 noon. We go on till like 9:30, 9:40, depending on the session times. You have the full schedule and the agenda available on the platform. There are going to be 3 parallel tracks. So there are some specific tracks which will run across 3 parallel tracks if they are a generic or a very special track, which could be relevant for every person. And then there are some super expert tracks where you would talk with some experts related to either a specific subject or a function or a geography. You also have some specific tracks and they will run in parallel. So again, you could as a delegate or as a participant select what exactly interests you. So this is what will run continuously. There are over 55 sessions to choose from over 2 days. In fact, to be honest, it's been extremely difficult for me to figure out my calendar and agenda as to which one to miss and which one to attend how. So it's very interesting content over 35 plus hours. Interestingly, this content will be available on the platform for some time, and then again later through some of the public platform where it will continue to be streamed for you to again reference in future. This conference again has all the constituent or ecosystem partners or stakeholders from the fintech industry. So we have participation from government and regulators. We have participation from the traditional financial services players as well as fintech leaders across the globe. This is also supported and attended and presented by global investors. And there is a startup ecosystem who's part of all this conference. The focus of these 2 days is to understand, as with the theme that how are we living as a fintech in the COVID world and how are we going to go beyond what we see today and what is this future that we see. So the focus is on assessing the impact on the financial services and fintech in the current time. Also the learnings which is going to be available across the geographies, across the globe in a single platform. Also identify some interesting success stories and share it across the globe for all the ecosystem to kind of know and learn. And of course, figure out where do we go from here and what is the future outlook looking like from the experts across the globe that you're going to meet across 2 days. So at the macro level, while you'll talk a lot in context of fintech, but there's a very interesting report which was published recently by World Economic Forum, which mentioned about top 10 most likely fallout of the world. And they've divided these on geopolitical issues, economic, social, tech, and environmental. And fundamentally, if you see out of top 10, about 7 are only economic. And interestingly, all the fintech work that you do is directly impacting economy and you have a way to impact. So this is a food for thought. I don't want to go into each of these topics, but I'm sure you can reference this report. This is publicly available. But fundamentally, it's a bigger impact on the economy, whether it's poverty, bankruptcy, unemployment. Again, the issues are around cross-border communication to kind of trades, to money flowing. So all those are the opportunity areas for fintech as well, while these are the challenges. Similarly, in terms of specific numbers, again, the part of the same report, I would not go again for because of the time constraint into each of this, but fundamentally, it talks about that there is a risk of more people into poverty, unemployment. There's also a chance of FDI falling. There is a chance of more and more kids, especially where the digital infrastructure is not ready to kind of come out of the school or not being able to attend school. So again, around all of this, we as a fintech have to see how do we impact and how do we kind of create things which are not depending on physical and deliver a solution which can actually create better opportunities. The good part is that while you're going to hear all these words, these are key buzzwords for opportunities of future, be it blockchain, robotics, central bank issued digital currencies, whether partnership, collaboration, mergers, you will see all of them happening. You're going to hear all these words again and again, whether RegTech, SupTech, digital identity. But these are opportunity areas and you should be extremely happy if you're kind of engaged with any of these activities which are related to these words. And probably there are more which I will also learn during the conference with interactions with all of you. So interestingly, where does India play in all of this? So far in a financial services world, India has been kind of leading in a lot of sectors, but we were not quite like the leader. But in a small decade or just a decade or less, India has emerged as one of the largest countries when it comes to the number of fintech players, startups, and the ecosystem. Similarly, in terms of FDI, over the last 2 years, we've been the largest destination for FDI in fintech. And no surprise when I saw a index which was recently published by Findexable, and again, this is a report available on their website. If you take top 20 traditional financial services center across the globe as a cities, not a single Indian city was present in like so many years that we were there and while we were large. But just in a less than a decade, as I said, that in a top 20 fintech global hubs, there are three cities from India that has emerged. And while we have a miles to go to become amongst top 2, 3, and we will be there, I'm sure, with the ecosystem growing and with everyone's support and as we work more with the global players. But it's amazing that in such a short period, fintech has been the kind of path where the India has done a lot of work. And of course, we do have one pioneer with us. We'll talk about it a bit more. So with this, I thank you all and I welcome you all. And I would now move to have a discussion with Dilip. So, first of all, thanks a lot for the support. And somebody on our group where you've been contributing a lot behind the scenes said that you are the UPI man. You are the universal player of India for everything in fintech, right? That was an interesting term that I liked. And at the same time, I know that you are a person who like to kind of not speak, but let your actions speak. And we've seen it. And the whole world has seen the work that has been done. So we'll, as per our discussion, instead of you kind of giving a speech like me, we will rather have a conversation. So very quick questions. The first one, you have been very active supporter for this and even earlier IFF that you were trying to do. What has been your vision when you were trying to look at events like this?
Thanks, Naveen, and we are very happy to host this along with the ecosystem. And once we had one conversation with Deputy Governor Kanungo, and he said he has visited Singapore Fintech Festival, and he said that there the speaker is the Indian Fintech Fellow, the audience is an Indian Fintech Fellow, and even the stalls which are deployed are by the Indian Fintech community. Why are you going to Singapore to do all these things? Why are you not doing it in India? And that's where this whole thing started. And I hope you recollect all our conversations to take it to the level of Singapore Fintech Festival. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we had to do it in a virtual or a digital platform this year. But I think the vision is taking this whole platform to the level of the way Money 2020 is run. The Singapore Fintech Festival, the way these both festivals are run worldwide, and this is the opportunity for all of us to showcase, what we have done in India. Whether it's the innovation-led policies by the RBI or the government, the lot of hard work which has been done by the banks, the financial institutions, and the fintech community to show the actual innovations what we have done in India. And obviously, to attract investors to look at the Indian ecosystem. Now that we have an opportunity with because of China, so I think we should lap up and must attract as much of investments as we can from the worldwide.
So you're saying, Dilip, that we have shown our leadership across the digital payments and getting into lending and other areas. Probably it's a time that while we work with the world, but we also start taking the thought leadership part of India in the fintech. And probably this is one attempt towards it. I think PCI has done a lot of work around it. And during the 2 days, there are a lot of activities you have planned, including some product launches. Would you want to talk briefly about that?
So we have quite a few launch, and I was talking about last 3-4 months, a lot of hard work put in by NPCI employees. And as even in the COVID period, about 20-25% of the NPCI employees have been coming to office because we had this launches planned at GFF. So we have, the Pravina is launching AutoPay along with Mr. Nilakani and Mr. Rajneesh Kumar, which is the standing instructions on UPI. We believe it's a game changer. We also have the RuPay commercial cards. We are launching it first times with a couple of banks at the GFF. We are also launching BBPS Ideathon to kind of generate more ideas, more value for the BBPS. We have a couple of workshops as well. The API accelerator to the fintechs can start playing back with NPCI APIs directly, and we also have something on the merchant side, so which Nalin Bansal from our side is trying to work with the merchant ecosystem. Some innovations like soft POS and those kind of things we are talking about. So quite a important event from NPCI as well. We're launching our very, very important things, and we have some workshop with the ecosystem, and so fairly excited, Naveen.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting day for you from multiple reasons, and congratulations to you in advance. I'm sure the world is looking for all these innovations and new ways to do things, and I'm sure we will all benefit with all these shared learning experiences across the globe. And both of us have been big fans of Money 2020 Singapore Fintech Festival. And we've always taken inspiration and work with those friends. And again, try and do the same thing probably in a different way and keep doing and keep kind of creating examples for each other that how do we grow it and make it look bigger for the whole entire global ecosystem. So on the whole, Dilip, I mean, this was done in a real super 3-month period, GFF, the whole idea from conceiving to kind of go. And I mean, that is also a style of the fintech industry as well as NPCI while you're growing. What do you think of how the overall event has shaped up? What are your personal views? What do you think is the future going to be for this events like this? Because you know that you don't do things in one. I mean, all the events or any activities you started, it's like forever, like 8 years, 10 years.
No, personally speaking, I'm fairly excited, and if you look at the speakers line, we have Mr. Amitabh Kant talking and Mr. Nandan Nilekani talking and some of the bank CEOs and chairpersons like Mr. Rajneesh Kumar, Uday Kotak, and Vaidyanathan from IDFC talking about. We have some of the best of the fintech entrepreneurs, Sachin Bansal, Vijay Shekhar, Nitin, Kunal Bell, Amrish Rao, Samir Nigam, and we have Google, Sajid and team participating. And we also have Visa MasterCard CEOs talking. Ram is talking in one of the panels along with me and you. And we have kind of regulators, that's very, very important that, regulators like Mr. Mahalingam, Mr. Vasudevan. We have a regulator from Singapore as well. Supnendu is talking in one of the panels. We have Justice Sri Krishna, we have a session on Justice Sri Krishna and Zia Modi, which is, I'm really personally looking forward to that session because, the privacy is such a big issue now and not only in India and worldwide. And while India is going to the privacy law, it will be interesting to hear them out. While we have the great speaker, any great event doesn't happen just like that. We have a great advisory board. We have been very fortunate to get a great advisory board like Mr. Padmanabhan, Rajan Anandan, Smita, Srinivas, Suniti, and yourself also talking, working very hard last 3 months to bring this speaker lineup, to plan the event, to foresee that, how this event can become a stepping stone so that the next year we go back and build up a great show like a Singapore Fintech Festival in Mumbai or Delhi. And obviously the work from the IMAI team and NPCI team, IMAI team, Gaurav, Neha, Sandeep Shivani has been really putting a lot of efforts back on the ground. And NPCI side, obviously Kunal, Swagata, and some of their team members have been working very, very hard. So I think it's a lot of hard work and fairly excited. And I think personally, it will be a lot of learning opportunity to me as well to hear from some of the experts, stalwarts, and I'm sure we will know a lot of expectations on NPCI that how and what is that NPCI should do, and I'm sure a lot of speakers will talk about, and I'm sure it's a great opportunity for NPCI and NPCI employees to learn from this event and partner our plans to fulfill those things.
Oh, that's amazing, Dilip, and I hope that this virtual platform gives us an opportunity to interact with the whole global ecosystem of fintech, collaborate more. At a time like this, collaboration is the only solution. And thankfully, these are best environment for partnerships, collaboration, not between different type of entities, be it banks to fintech or be it even across the globe. So I think we should take.
I think Naveen, you raise a very good point, and we have tied up with some of the media partners, and which will help us to take this. There is ET now, there is Bloomberg and Quint and CNBC. So hopefully, I believe that this will reach out to the large fintech audience worldwide, and it will add a lot of value to the Indian fintech ecosystem, Indian financial services in a long run.
Oh, that's amazing. And I think, like you said, we are super excited. This is just our maiden first venture. We will be open. And again, I'll request all the delegates who are participating, all other speakers, exhibitors to give us a lot more feedback. And we will keep improving it like we have done in everything else, whether it's a business, whether it's any activity. And that's how we work. We learn, we collaborate, and we grow. So I think we don't want to take too much of time of the audience beyond us. I mean, we have another panel to start soon.
Yeah.
So I welcome all of you again. I thank you. There are many other activities. There are a few reports that are going to get launched and will be available on the platform during 2 days. and you will hear about that. And obviously, you will hear from me and Dilip more in the upcoming panel with a short break. So we'll be back with all of you folks in a very short break. Thank you very much. And thanks, Dilip. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Surya and Mr. Asbe, for the opening session. With that, we conclude this session. We look forward to meeting you all in the following sessions. That's it from our side. Thank you all.